So in this video, I'm going to compare sea versus air shipping and look at which one is the best for shipping your Amazon FBA products from your manufacturer in China to the Amazon UK fulfillment centers. And if you stick around to the very end, I'm going to talk about a third way of shipping your products that is a nice middle ground, but no one seems to talk about. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So as always, if you know who I am, then welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, my name's Luca. And on this channel, I talk about how to launch and scale a successful Amazon FBA business. So if that's your thing, hit that subscribe button and turn on that ding-a-ling so you get notified for all future videos. Okay, so your factory in China has manufactured your products and you're ready to get those products shipped to the UK Amazon fulfillment centers. And you're wondering whether you should ship your products by sea or by air. Now the truth is neither one is better than the other, but they each have their pros and cons, and I'm going to go through them in this video. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about how to know which one is kind of best for you and your situation. But before we get onto that, the first thing that I want to talk about is whether you should let your supplier organize shipping for you or whether you should organize shipping yourself. Because this is something I get asked about all the time. I see asked on forums all the time, and it's a really important thing to talk about. So in my experience, what you will find is that if you get quotes from freight forwarders and you compare those quotes to getting your manufacturer to organize shipping, you'll normally find that actually it's cheaper to let your manufacturer ship the product. So to go with DDP shipping terms with your manufacturer. However, I would still personally advise that you avoid letting your manufacturer organize shipping. And the reason why I advise that is because I don't want to use the word organized crime, but there's just quite a lot of dodgy kind of black hat tactics that are used by manufacturers to make sure that they pay very little VAT and duties. And that is the reason why they can offer these shipping terms to you cheaper than if you were to do it the kind of correct way, pay the right amount of duties and VAT and get it done, organize the shipping yourself with a freight forwarder. So if your company is VAT registered in the UK, definitely don't let your supplier organize DDP shipping for you, because you're not going to be the one that pays the VAT on those products when they arrive at the UK, and then you're not going to be able to deduct that VAT when you do your VAT returns. If your company isn't VAT registered in the UK, you know what? I would still advise against letting a supplier organize shipping for you, just because you just don't want to be involved with dodgy tactics, and it's better just to do things the right way and organize the shipping yourself. So what I'd recommend is that you get in contact with some UK freight forwarders and get them to organize the shipping of your products. Okay, so that's that covered, but should you go for sea or air shipping? Well, I've put together some slides to compare the pros and cons, so why don't we jump into the computer and go through them. Okay, so let's firstly look at sea shipping. If you're going to ship your products by sea, then you're looking at a total shipping time of about 4 to 6 weeks. So it really does take quite a long time if you're going to ship your products by sea. You're probably looking at about 30 days in shipping time and then about 15 days in customs clearance. When thinking about the pros of sea shipping, the truth is there's only really one pro, and that is cheap. It's just cheaper than air shipping. But apart from that, it doesn't really have many other positives. It's just a cheap, slow option. In terms of the cons, well, it's just very slow. It takes ages. And because it takes ages, there's a higher financial risk. And I'll explain what I mean by this. Let's say you're planning on launching a product that sells around 300 units a month, and you're planning on shipping those products to Amazon from China by sea. You know that basically once you place another order with your manufacturer, it's going to take them a couple of weeks at least to manufacture the products. And then it's also going to take over a month to get those products shipped from your manufacturer, which means that your initial stock order to launch that product is going to have to last you at least 2 months, because that's the time that it's going to take once you place your second order for that second order to arrive at the Amazon FBA warehouse, and you really don't want to go out of stock. So you're going to have to order around 600 units to launch that product, which is quite a high financial risk when you're not 100% certain whether that product is going to be successful in its launch. If you compare that to if you were going to ship your products by air, you'd be able to do a much smaller initial order, because you know that when you place your second order, that second order is going to arrive much quicker by air than it would be by sea. Hence, there's going to be less of a financial risk if shipping your product by air, because you can do a smaller initial stock order. And because you have to do larger orders each time if you're shipping by sea, a third con is that you just have poorer cash flow because more of your cash is held up in stock at any one time. Okay, so that's sea shipping. Why don't we have a look at air shipping? So air shipping has a total shipping time of somewhere between kind of 10 and 14 days. You can expect the shipping time to be about 10 days and customs clearance to be 4 days. So both the shipping time and the customs clearance time are both much quicker than if you're shipping by sea. So the main pro of air shipping is that it's just much faster than sea shipping. And as a result, you can have smaller shipments sent more regularly, which means that there's a lower financial risk if you're going to launch a new product and you're planning on shipping it by air. On top of that, you're also going to have better cash flow because you're going to have less money held in stock at any one time. And obviously, the better cash flow that you have, the more cash you have in the business to be able to launch more products and grow your brand on Amazon. But unfortunately, air shipping does have one big con, and that is that it is much more expensive than sea shipping, depending on the product that you're shipping. So depending on the weight and the size of it, it can be 2 to 3 times more expensive, which is a real pain in the ass. It would be absolutely amazing if air shipping was the same price as sea shipping, but unfortunately, that's just not the way things go. Okay, so which one should you go for? Well, the truth is it depends on what product you're launching. As a general rule of thumb, if you're launching a small and light product, then air shipping is probably the best way to go because you're going to be able to have fast shipping and it's not going to cost you too much because the products are small and light. If your products are bulky or if they're heavy, then it's going to cost you just too much to ship the products by air, so you should probably consider sea shipping. What I would suggest you do is get in contact with 2 to 3 UK-based freight forwarders and ask them for quotes for both air and sea shipping. Then once you have those quotes, what you want to do is just divide those quotes by the number of units you're shipping to work out the shipping cost per unit for both air and sea shipping. Put that unit cost into your profit calculation tool, whichever one you're using, and just work out what the impact on your profit and profit margin would be if you were to ship by air or by sea. Then once you know that, basically the final decision is going to come down to profit margin and profit per unit versus cash flow. If you find that shipping your products by air still means you're going to have a good profit margin and a good profit per unit, then it's probably best to go for air shipping because you're going to have much better cash flow, means you have more money to work with to launch more products and grow your brand. But there is one other option, and that is shipping your products by train. And this is something that no one seems to really talk about, and I think that's because most of the people putting Amazon FBA content out are based in the US, and shipping products by train is not something that you're able to do if you're based in the US, but it is something we're able to do if we're based in the UK and we're getting our products manufactured in China. So there's actually a train line that runs directly from China all the way through Russia to Germany, and then when it hits Germany, it kind of spreads out all over Europe. And in 2017, that was extended to London. And if you live in London or you know London well, you'll know where Barking is. That's in East London. So the train line goes directly to Barking. And if we compare train shipping to air and sea shipping, it's quite a nice middle ground. The shipping time is about somewhere in the middle, so somewhere about 3 to 4 weeks in total. And the price is somewhere in the middle as well, somewhere between air and sea shipping. So if you can't quite decide between air or sea shipping, then it might be worth looking into getting your products shipped by train. It's not something that I've personally done before, but it's definitely going to be something that I start to look into a bit more and consider when I'm getting my next shipment sent to the Amazon UK fulfillment centers. Okay, so sea, air, or train shipping, which one do you think that you're going to use and which one do you think is best for you? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, if you found the video useful, don't forget to give the video a like. It really helps support the channel and get the video out there to more people. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.